Welcome to Film Bluffs, a place for free-range, non-GMO, dog water opinions. So come on in, take a seat, and let's make fun of the kid with no internet.
Every time, every week.
We have all week to think of how we're going to intro the show.
We didn't fuck up this hard in the rehearsal.
Every time. Anyway, music's faded in. You know the drill. I'm your host, Fancy Pants.
I'm Ron Wilson, bus driver, also known as Marshall, which is my superhero name.
And I'm Fancy Pants.
I guess for clarification's sake, I'm Jobe, and that's Trace. And over here, we have a very special guest.
Marshall.
Hey, door number 3. Tell me, if you were to have a first name, what would it be?
Honestly, I'm a big fan of Will.
Ooh,
My name is
Will's
Will
good.
Stronghold. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, we got the Will Stronghold, which is such a coincidence because I think we just watched the movie starring you.
Yeah, but I guess I'll go by my real name, which is Quinn.
Michael Angarano.
So, wait, Adrian Brody was just your superhero name?
It was.
Do you think did they ever come up with a superhero name for Will?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, good.
Good.
They did not.
Coach Boomer came up with it.
So, not to start off antagonistic, but if you were paying attention to the movie, you would understand that they actually choose their names upon graduation.
Actually,
Okay,
they're-
I
that was
meant-
for the sidekicks. They didn't go over superhero.
Yeah. I also try. I should have phrased it better. I meant
Let me
like,
consult
was
the
there-
document real quick.
Was there ever like a book or anything like a book adaptation of it that was like, by the way, later on that he calls himself this?
I'm
Dude.
going to be honest with you, Trace. Don't think there was enough for a spin-off media of Sky
Well, I
High.
don't not like that, but like how they have the books for like fucking Star Wars, where it's
Yeah.
like the
That's also
novelization.
considered
The-
spin-off media, but alright, go off.
Nah,
The rumor, I think, was they were originally going to have 4, one for each year of high school.
that would have been so
freaking
fucking.
It would have been
cool.
great.
That would have been so good. I would have loved that. Those sick bastards.
Yeah,
Joe.
Joe.
After we're done here, we're gonna
Sky
hint
High
the
2
anime
sophomore
adaptation,
year.
right? Anyway, my question to Marshall was: am I allowed to say a certain word?
No. Anyways, the reason we have Quinn on here today is that he is our resident Sky High expert. He wrote the Wikipedia page on
He's a
Sky
good-
High. He was there directing it. He did everything with Sky High. This is the Sky High man. So we thought, hey, bring him on. No, Joe, you can't. Joe, you cannot.
I'm so glad that those don't actually show up on the podcast.
But yeah, that's why we have Quinn on. We're glad to have
Yeah,
him on the
just use
show.
the
Quinn,
chat,
my
I
first
suppose.
question to you, resident Sky High expert: do superheroes get paid?
Yes. We see the commander and Jetstream working for the mayor at the beginning of the movie, implying that they are getting compensated for their jobs.
So, what
But-
you're saying is,
But they can also be doing
Mike-
volunteer work, you know?
They could, because they also, as their alter egos, are realtors.
They're really
So,
good at it too, apparently.
They are really good.
Yes, Job.
where were the commander and Jetstream?
Don't even say it. Don't finish it.
Nope, probably not a good idea.
Don't finish that.
Yeah,
During
Don't.
I trust him.
finish
I
it.
trust him.
the coronavirus pandemic.
What are they gonna do, huh? He's
well,
gonna punch everyone.
I
in
think
the
the
coronavirus?
Jetstream was underground.
I think she died. Yeah, she doesn't have the resilience of the commander.
No,
Yeah.
what happened was the vortex takes out all the oxygen. No oxygen, no virus.
Well, that would
What
be
did you fucking
that would be
say to me?
Speed's job then, right? If he wasn't a
Dude,
supervillain.
we gotta keep this speed off our streets.
Anyways, Quinn, resident Sky High expert, lore aficionado, give us a quick little 1, 2, 3 on what is Sky High, the movie.
So, Sky High the movie, it's a Disney flick, came out in 2005. It's a typical coming of age, almost like an allegory for puberty. We see Will Stronghold, who is the son of the best superheroes in his town or world. We don't really know. But he doesn't have any superpowers. And he goes to the nurse, and the nurse tells him, hey, you're just maybe a late bloomer. And we see him eventually get his superpowers. And throughout this, he's navigating his freshman year of high school while going through super puberty. So he's dating girls, he's having friend troubles, he's changing classes, becoming popular, saving the world, fighting bad guys. Truthfully, the movie can be summed up by the last sentence, which, if I scroll down to my very last page in my notes, because I have 5.5 pages of notes. So, so in the end, my girlfriend became my archenemy. My archenemy became my best friend, and my best friend became my girlfriend. But hey, that's high school.
Truers. Thank you, Quinn. Everyone give him some snaps.
Thank you.
I do have a problem with the final sentence of the movie.
Yeah.
So when we first meet Zach, it kind of seems like he's been friends with Will and Lana for a while, right?
I am so happy you said that because I have the same feelings.
It's so weird. Like, it just, this guy who tried to kill me skips over my best friend and is now my best friend.
I have said the exact same thing before. I think Zach is better best friend material than Warren.
But I think he's better friends with Ethan. It seems like he bonds with Ethan more.
And he's trying to tap Magenta. So, like, Zach's got a full
he
point.
does. He for sure. Not to get too racy in this, but does he glow?
Yes.
And there is one.
Presumably, yes.
Do you think
His
that you can
dad
see it
is
through?
just a 150-pound mass of plankton.
I
that
hope so.
Has bioluminescence.
Do you think if she were to, like, open her mouth during, it would just, like, plant
So,
a
like,
spotlight?
Please, let me make my point.
No, okay, yeah, go for it.
So here's my thing. It's a fun movie, but there's several times that you're just like, what the fuck is going on in this? And it's fine. You gotta just kind of meet its movie at its level. And I was able to do that.
But it's like, he was his best friend.
It's been
Why is
2
he
minutes.
introducing
Who are you
him?
fighting with?
Why is
Nobody
he
said anything controversial.
Why is he introducing... If Zach was his best friend, his dad seemed to have no idea who he was. And it's kind of weird, right? If it was his
Not
best
to
friend,
me. No, his dad does seem kind of like the type who would just be like, does your friend have any powers? No, not yet.
So Zach only developed his powers the summer before Sky High started. So it's a recent development, and that's why there's some tension because Will still doesn't have his powers. Zach actually goes, and he says, if I can quote,
If I can
let me control F real quick.
My
No, but
thing about Quinn consulting his notes is that he lurches at the camera to do it.
my eyes aren't bad, but I'm not risking it. I gotta get it.
Here's my thing, if I can go on a little tangent. So this whole movie, they're like, sidekicks are pieces of shit. They're terrible.
It's never
You mean hero support?
That's
hero
true.
support, but they call them sidekicks.
That is a slur.
And then, like, at the end of the movie, they're like, "Nah, this is hero support. They're cool. You know, they're about it. They're like superheroes essentially." But like, some of them have really shitty powers. They're like, "Oh, if you think about it, it could be used in a very unique way." Okay, just don't be an idiot, dog.
Well,
don't step in the puddle.
That's my thing. I would like to ask Quinn, in what point, other than fucking with a speedster, does Ethan's melting power come in to a decent, like, an actual point of contention?
Please, I've got
Jobe.
Let's say the villain has an app on his phone that allows him to use his death ray. Ethan melts and short circuits the iPhone by getting into the ports and shit.
See, I'm thinking more along the lines of he jumps over the guy. He's in awe because he's like, this nerd's jumping over me. Wow. And then he melts into his mouth and drowns him.
That, or he
Killing him
and explodes from inside out.
Oh yeah. Can he reconstitute with not like enough space, or would he just?
Good question.
I firmly believe any superpower taken to the logical conclusion can be deadly.
Not the glowing.
Not to get philosophical.
Glowing guy.
No, you put your thumbs in his eyes and you glow.
What?
You blind that fucker.
Is Ethan allowed to go through airport security?
Yeah, he's robbed. Right?
The actor might not
Ethan
be,
melts.
Ethan melts. Larry
Quinn,
is
I'm gonna have to ask you to keep it PG for this show, if that's okay.
No, it's okay. We already.
I know.
We
We
already referenced
like to
Zach
take it
glowing
into a pretty
his
racy
rod.
territory.
I don't know. I just feel like
word.
Here's the thing. It's just one guy deciding where everyone gets placed, and I feel like there should be like a panel of people. Like
He's
in
got
a real
paper.
world. That's just one paper. That's him. He doesn't even know powers yet. He's just saying "fuck you" or "hell yeah." You know.
Yeah.
It's just one guy.
It's just like regular high school. Your social standing is
it would be
determined by
funny.
the gym teacher.
It would be funny if he just assumed, and Zach goes up there, and he's like, "All right, I'm ready," and he drops a fucking car on him because he just
Dies.
assumes
Dude, he's ready
super
for the
strength.
tar that drops.
That is
He's
what
like,
happens
"Tar."
to Will.
Yeah, well, but
He
but
almost dies.
His makes sense because his dad has super strength. I
Right,
think it'd be
right.
funny for somebody who does not have anything cool about them, like Zach.
At least with like the abilities we're shown, there is a pretty good
Yes.
distinction of acid spit, hero, 6 arms, hero. You can transform into a bouncy ball.
That's cool.
Okay,
Oh,
You
also,
just saved the
exciting.
concert. You saved
If
the
I may,
concert.
He
It's-
assaults that student. He full on kicks the student. I don't care if they're
He
in-
does.
he also
No,
sexually
that's funny.
assaults a student by slapping them on the ass.
Well,
He
that's
does.
also- no, he slaps
Wait,
himself
when does
on
he
the
s-
ass. That's not. That's
He
not.
slaps himself, the shape. So
Is it
That
wrong?
won't hold up. That won't hold up in court.
Nah.
Is it wrong if fuck someone who
God damn it.
is a
Joe.
full grown adult?
No, I don't want to hear it.
So-
Alright, just
Like,
stop.
yes, it's wrong.
here's the deal. Coach Boomer may be one of the most powerful people
Right?
in Sky
No, he's
High.
not. You're fucking full.
Not only does he have the ability to do the initial determination of what your powers are, and we see later when Will develops his powers, he transfers out of hero support into the hero course. So we know that, okay, maybe there's some oversight if, something gets overlooked. You can be transferred to a different class. What we see, though, is that, for example, the bouncy ball girl, she's dressed like a cheerleader. She is typecast as popular kid. And then we see Larry, rock monster. He is typecast as nerd. Cheerleader goes to the sidekick class, isn't at the rager that happens
True.
at Will's house. But you know who is there? Little Larry.
Big Larry.
Bigly. So, also, something that I noted, because as I was, taking notes, I watched this over a couple days. I watched half, and then I was like, okay, I need to take a
It's
rest.
not
from my
that
notes.
long, Quinn.
Finish the other.
When you're taking
When-
notes, it is.
Yeah, but when you're as excitable about it as Quinn, it's like
When
running
you're
a fucking
reviewing it,
marathon.
sometimes
So-
you have to go back.
I caught a couple things, that I haven't caught in a while. I haven't watched the movie for a bit. But what I want to know is that the party,
Yeah.
Gwen and Will, they're being
Yeah.
tutored, they're studying. Then
Yeah.
what we see, Gwen's like, oh, there's a homecoming problem. Can we just have the committee come over? And Will's like, okay, fine. It is a full-blown rager. There's music, there's drinks, there's everything. We learn from the commander and Jetstream when they come back and they stop the party that they were only gone 2 hours. And presumably they were gone when Gwen and Will were just studying. So there has to be some kind of network in the hero class that spreads the news around. And there has to be people that are really good at setting up the parties. Jobe, you had your hand up first.
No, he's bad though.
No.
Okay.
Quinn's right.
So-
Quinn's right.
We see in this superhero universe that they have cell phones.
They have cell phones. I have
And
some theories.
I have some theories
I'm
about
thinking maybe she texted. I'm not sure.
Penny could go on multiple phones.
That's true.
Speed could run and tell people in person to help spread the word out.
Lash
And we
can
know
jerk off
they're
from
the
miles
lackeys.
away.
Marshall.
So
Flash
when you
can
said
get
you
the
haven't,
Wi-Fi.
you've seen this movie a few times in your life. I've only seen this movie. This will be my second time, I think. Maybe second or third. It's been a while since I've watched it last. Probably at least 10 years, probably more since I've seen it. When you watch this, are there just moments that just stick in your mind? Because for me, there's always a few moments that I'm just remembering every single time. It's the beach ball where you go side
Yep.
kick.
Side kick.
Oh, yes,
That's in the mind.
Yeah. And the light to the sensation.
What are we doing here, guys?
Dear Marshall, what did you
No,
like to know?
do go on. Do go on.
Oh, we have a goblet.
In my notes, I literally wrote, power placement may be the most iconic scene in the movie. That
That's
whole
really good.
sequence is one of the most memorable things. I think the fight when Will develops his super strength against Warren is another moment that really sticks out to me.
But
Save
it looks
the
really
citizen.
awkward though.
Save
It's so awkward. He's so scrawny holding up the... Yeah, it's great. Save the Citizen is the other one that is...
Yes,
the
we should
most
have had a
iconic.
full-blown tournament.
I feel like
This-
every
This movie had my wife and I cussing
Alright.
out fucking Gwen and Will halfway through the movie. He just fucking left her at the Chinese restaurant. How
So-
can you do this?
It's called, well, you see, if I may step on toes here.
Nope, not
Go
allowed.
ahead, old chap. Go ahead.
Thank you. It is my personal belief that we're seeing the hero's journey, but we also, in the same movie, get the redemption arc. Oh, it's lovely. So much character growth in 1 hour and just shy of 40 minutes.
I don't think he really redeems himself that much. I'll be real.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's kind of a cuss.
he kind of goes, I am a piece of shit. I have to save the school. And then Danielle Panabaker's like, I love you too.
Pretty
Well,
much.
you have to understand. Yeah, understand. They've had such a long history of knowing each other, and he was only a dick for like a month, maybe 2 at the most.
She's had this
I don't know.
unrequited love that he never picked up on, and everyone instantly clued in on it. Fucking War and Peace calling her out instantly. Clocked
Amazing.
her ass.
I think when you're in high school, right?
Well, who's this guy?
I'm sorry. Jobe here. You know what? You're right. Let me get
We
fancy.
don't have to primary school. Right before uni.
When I was a boy back in school, I thought people might talk to me because they like me. Turns out that as you grow older, you start to realize that the only reason a woman will talk to you for any reason is because she wants to fuck you.
God.
It's the only reason a woman would ever talk to you.
Joe,
Is it-
sometimes.
Isn't it appropriate for me to say fuck now?
Yes.
So
I
Because it
thought
can't be
this was a
sexual by
shit-
nature.
I feel like everybody kind of picks up on it, but like we don't really talk about it a lot. Where Will's fast as fuck before he gets his powers, right? Like the reflexes
fuck,
on this
boy.
kid when the car falls is
Dude,
insane.
I know. He's fucking.
If you look closely, I believe you'll see that the footage is sped up. I don't know what they're trying to do.
No. Michael's fast, man.
Before we digress too far, a quick side note on the relationship between Gwen and Will. Even if we ignore the fact that she is his parents' age canonically,
Yep.
it is a problematic age gap because it is a senior
And a
dating a freshman. So 17,
typically-
18,
Very gross.
14, 15.
That
Typically,
happened
it's the
a lot in
reverse.
high
It's
school.
older guy and a younger
That's true.
girl.
True.
So
I knew
dude,
someone in high school that did that when we were seniors, and
It's just icky.
It was
It's just
disgusting.
We had a guy who like serial dated freshmen when he started being a junior, and to the point where like there was a girl a couple grades below us that posted a picture on Instagram, and he went, "Hey, blah blah blah," and her brother immediately comments and went, "Not this one."
Now, Trace,
Yeah,
if you were in Sky High,
as I would be. Yeah.
not okay. Now, here's the question for the table: what do you think your power would be given your current like physical and mental attributes? Not the power you most want to have, the power you think you would have that fits your personality.
I would have super speed, and I'd be
No.
the fastest man
No.
alive.
God damn it!
You know
Barry
those lizards that can like squirt blood from their eyes? It'd be like Trace. Trace could do that, but with Mountain Dew.
Allen. And only when he's fuming about something that happened in his past.
I am saying that not from a standpoint of I think it would be cool to have super speed. I used to be really, really fast
Shut
in high school.
up,
I
Trace.
did a 5-minute mile in high school, Marshall.
No,
Fuck
you
off.
didn't.
I
You're
did.
full of shit.
I did. We set a
Car.
fucking record.
Who's we?
Well, we set a record for our hurtling
Who's
team,
we?
and then I set a record for our
Nintendo.
mile. Yeah, I was on the Nintendo team.
All right,
Is
Quinn,
Wii
same
Sports.
question.
Okay, so I know we're all thinking it. Sidekick. I think
I don't think I think heroes typically don't have podcasts.
I see. No, we do.
Shut the fuck up.
100%
You're not
we
a
do.
speedster.
Yeah. Man, I could really use a drink right now.
I feel
Look
like
at that.
That's fine. I could really go for a right now. Look at that. I saw
I Ethan'd all over.
Poor Ethan. He's gonna get made fun of so much.
He would
Yes,
in this day and
Marshall.
age.
Marshall.
My power would be to fall slowly.
I like that.
All right. So we
I
all
feel
said
like I could get burned. Like I wouldn't have any other just like I could touch
You're-
something mildly hot
we're-
that would burn a normal person, but like I would be pretty okay with it.
so like your power would be you could get cookies out of the oven without mitts.
Exactly.
Mild
My-
heat tolerance.
Because I burn myself a lot.
My,
So I think I would just have a natural resistance.
I've got the best answer. You
All right.
ready for this one?
It's not
I
gonna be as
can
good as my
mildly
lizard thing.
electrocute people,
Uh,
but only if I'm wearing woolly socks on a shag carpet.
What a shit.
do you bring those around with you? Like you just like running around with a Roomba and a shed carpet and some woolly socks?
Also, why wasn't power placement in the handbook?
I don't
Because
know.
like everyone seemed really fucking confused by that, and then
Fair.
You would think
Like,
that
what if
people
you
who
did
have
Not
that?
like
everyone read the handbook.
they have superpowered parents,
Ethan
most
did.
of them. You would think that they would have been
Not
like, by the
all
way,
of
your
them.
your first day is gonna be blah 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 blah.
I know some
You
of
know-
them. They talk about like if
Well,
a
yeah.
child falls into a vat of acid, he's immediately thrown.
We
to
should
the
do that to
wolves.
Marshall's kid.
But if he survives the wolves, he just might have a chance at this school.
I like the idea that I know we have like our pathetic sidekicks, like the ones that have shitty powers. Will at first has no powers, but I really want one that like they get there and Boomer's like, all right, what's your power? And he's like, well, I'll have you know that I tie my shoes correctly on the first try every time.
So do I.
Coach,
And he's
Coach
just like,
Boomer's
what?
like,
And he's like, watch this. Done.
Coach Boomer's like, "What's your power?" And you're like, "All right, I don't know how to explain this, but when I shoot,
Stop. Anyways, back to this movie at large.
Yeah.
The thing that's fun about it is that it's silly and it just doesn't even try to explain itself.
Not
They're
at
like,
all.
what's the villain gonna do? She's gonna turn all the heroes into babies, right? And then she's not gonna carry them out to the bus. She's gonna put them on a fucking conveyor, each with their own individual baby booster seat, and then
Yes.
fly the bus out of here.
She hit it.
Because
Yes.
that's the most logical step. Instead of using, the villain that you have that has super speed to go and just pick the baby up.
You
and put her in
can't
the bus.
use super speed on a baby. My
you
God.
can.
Listen, these are superhero babies, though. They're different.
Yeah, but their powers won't develop until they hit puberty.
No. Why is that one smart baby super smart? Medulla oblongata.
He's not
You
as smart as he
secretly-
was, though.
I have some theories. All right, so if you look closely, you can see that he has a cranium that's too fucking big. He's
Yeah,
an
you can
alien.
relate, Marshall.
Dude,
Marshall,
when- they were originally going to have George Lopez because he had the naturally big head.
George Lopez as
They
Mr.
didn't have to do
Mandela
a
would be
prosthetic.
great. Marshall, I need you to do a George
Mr.
Lopez
Electric.
impression because I'll get yelled at.
No, Job, I think you should go for it.
Joe, go
Okay.
for it.
All right.
You got
No,
permission.
no, you can't. You can't.
Oh, never mind. He revoked it.
You weren't really quick off the draw, so we had to pull it out. You know what I'm
I
saying?
see, I
Yes,
see.
Trace, you from
I have a
California.
question for Quinn.
Go ahead.
Yes.
Why is she leaving Sky High? Why not just like raise the babies
Because
there?
the ships are falling, you idiot. The sky
but
High
that's
is
her.
falling.
But that's her choice.
Well,
Like she
wants
does
school to-
that. She's
She
like,
also wants to
well-
break the school, but she doesn't want to kill babies. She's not a
just
fucking
fucking
monster.
No, you don't
move
understand.
It, move
When
it
she
somewhere
builds-
else.
when she builds her supervillain school, due to zoning laws, all the superpowered children in the area will have to go to her supervillain school because the one
Right, but, like,
superhero school in
she
their
just-
district is gone.
But like, let's assume her plan goes off flawlessly.
Yeah.
She just has the school already. She can
No,
just
but
still
she-
do that.
it's not in her name though.
Who gives a shit? The owner is
It's
now a
city
child.
ordinance.
The owner. The
We're
owner's
talking
a child.
about zoning
So,
laws
like,
here.
You just sign their name and
How
go,
is
hey,
she
this
supposed
is
to
a
fill
kid.
out a 501c form?
This kid
if
can't
the
rightfully
building's
own a
not in
building.
her
It's my
name?
building now. Yeah, what's up, Quinn?
Considering that Steve and Josie are realtors, I think that, yeah, they're babies, but they would still know enough about the law, the zoning, that it would be better for her to crash the school
I like
onto
the insurance
SpongeBob's
money.
new house.
That's true.
I think she just wanted to say fuck you to the school. Just like,
permits.
just like a fuck you. I hate this school. Blow up, bitch.
I think
If
so
you-
too.
If you didn't want to, if you hated something and you had the ability to break it with no repercussions, would you
I
just
feel like
be
she. I feel like she hated the commander more than she hated
no,
the school.
No, she also hated the
Mm.
school
Not as
because
much.
they
She
didn't
did.
know what a technopath was at that time. 'Cause
I
everyone
always-
It's
hated
okay.
Speaking of technopath powers, I always thought when she's in the secret sanctum
the secret sanctum.
that the pacifier, we see it fly off screen.
That's,
I always thought she used her technopath powers. This go around, stupidly on my part, I slowed it down, did the frame by frame analysis, and we see speed blur by.
Speed.
You see it without even
It's
slowing it
Clearly
down.
speed.
This is no.
It's
I look.
speed.
On the footage, you can see its speed.
And he
Slow
runs
down.
by. He runs by and goes,
Now I can say with 100% certainty that is a goblin.
no, I'm with Quinn
No,
though. This is the
I
first
got
time I've
something
ever.
first.
This is the first time I've ever noticed that. To me, it was just gone because I was like, wow, Ramona's so hot.
So here's what I got. Here's what I got, guys.
No.
If you're a hero, do you have to have a secret sanctum? Because if I was a hero, I'd want a layer, or is that like a whole other
Layers.
thing?
That's a villain thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
villains
they
have
wouldn't-
layers. Heroes have
They
sanctum.
wouldn't stop. They wouldn't stop you, but they would be very cautious.
We're
I
talking
don't have a
about
hero
zoning
layer.
permits.
Why
you
is he
have
living
to get
in
a
a
permit
cave?
for
What
that.
And
we
why does it
don't
look so
see-
sinister.
What we don't see about the Secret Sanctum
That's
is
Secret
them
Sanctum.
leaving it.
True.
The only entrance is the
They
pole.
just get down.
Josie can fly. Will can fly later. The commander has to crawl out of that.
Question. So
Yeah.
the commander really,
He's a
really
wizard.
pissed off at the idea about Will using his pole. Who used his pole to get down there with him and Gwen?
Probably
Someone had to.
I think
Well,
Gwen did.
I
Dude,
think
this
she
Will
did
guy
too,
sucks.
because I'm sure Will's like terrified of his father and has to be like,
He's like,
"Oh, I
Well,
can't,
because his
I
father is a
can't."
serial killer.
Yeah.
We're just not ready to have that conversation yet.
I think my dad would be okay if with you rubbing your.
God damn it, Joe!
You obviously can't say that.
I didn't think about it at the time.
No, you don't think.
So-
You're too intoxicated. This is why we had the fucking intervention.
I'm not intoxicated. You're
Joe
so
had a
Then,
beer.
then this is just naturally you being an idiot, or what? Like, what's the
Also-
deal, Joe?
Yes.
Do you think
How long have you
Speed
known
like
me?
ran down the wall, or do you think he sped down the pole really quickly?
Dude, give him some heartburn if he does
Do
that.
not know.
He grabbed it with his hand and shimmied down.
Definitely.
Or he phased through? Maybe he just
Guys,
phased through the
guys.
wall.
He's
Enough
not
of
that
this.
fast.
I'm trying to
So-
ask genuine.
No,
Moving
we need to
on.
talk about the movie itself, alright?
So we start off in a comic book scroll. It's scrolling from left to right. Job knows what I'm about to say. Any clear manga influences in this film can be ruled out because of the left to right scroll of the
That's
comic
true.
book sequence. We also quickly learn Steve takes trophies from the bad guys he kills. That is why I think he is low-key a serial killer. Because serial killers take trophies. And this podcast is now a true crime podcast.
Well, it's not
We
true.
gotta
It's
figure
fictional.
out
This is
movie.
not
We gotta
real.
figure
This
out
is all
what
made
Kurt
up,
Russell-
Quinn.
I'm
These are actors.
hijacking
These
No,
are
no, no,
actors
no, 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 no.
playing a movie.
Kurt
Quinn.
Russell is a sociopath.
Quinn, I'm begging on you.
No, don't call on him. Please,
begging
do whatever
on
you
you.
can not to call
My
on him.
arm
Go
is
ahead.
so tired.
Go.
On him.
Yes. So magenta, right?
Yes.
God.
She can turn into a guinea pig.
G-Force.
Not even a swarm of guinea pigs.
G-force.
Just a guinea pig.
Just
G-Force.
G-force. Anyway,
G-Force.
G-force rocks the G-force. So guinea pigs have an average lifespan of 3 to 5 years. My question is,
Does her power die?
yeah, if magenta spends cumulatively 3 to 5 years as a guinea pig, regardless of how old she is as a human, will she die?
Yes.
Counter.
I think it is safe to assume that the guinea pig is always the same age when she transforms into it. And so if she were to live out that long, I think, yes,
She's
she would
stretching
die.
out.
But it could. But it all. We also could assume that maybe she's still pretty young and just figuring out her powers. Maybe she could also turn into other animals later on in life and learns how to. Same with Zach. Zach may just glow right now, but maybe later on he can turn into like a supernova.
I feel like
level
if
light.
this universe powers could be developed in that way,
Yeah.
that the sidekick program would be focused on more developmental advancement.
I think that the more logical thing with Zach's powers is that he really just has jaundice and liver failure.
Okay, but why does he glow?
He has really bad jaw.
Really bad liver
The
failure.
worst
What is-
the worst case we've ever seen.
Marshall.
Okay, I got two things. I forgot the second one, but we'll get to there and hopefully I remember
Cool.
it. The first one is the movie, while being, 2005, something like
Good
that,
job.
it still looks pretty
Yeah.
decent
It
in terms
does.
of like CGI and like photography and stuff like that. Will does have like the chronicle thing going on when he first learns how to fly, where he's just like, you know,
He does look so awkward.
How
Yes,
would- how
he
would you
does.
fly if you
It's
just
the
learned?
jacket. It's like his shoulders should be broader in that moment, and they aren't because he is a teenager.
He doesn't.
Also,
When you first get your powers, you don't fully understand it. You're kind of like,
And
"What?"
he always looks like he just threw up.
And the second thing is, after they start to realize that if you have two superhero like cool ones, you can probably get two powers in one boy. Do they start like a eugenics thing where they like
Whoa,
selectively breed
hey,
superheroes?
whoa.
What do you mean start?
No, because they haven't. They haven't.
Layla and Will have a child that has really strong
Why
roots.
is Marshall allowed to talk about eugenics, but I'm not allowed to talk about?
Bus driver.
Hell
If you look up his IMDb credit, it is Ron Wilson, bus driver.
Dude, Ron
And
Wilson. bus
He is
driver
not credited as Ron Wilson. He is
He's
credited as
the
Ron Wilson, bus driver.
That's the character.
Ron Wilson is the fucking
Ron
coolest.
Wilson.
However, that
He-
whole bus sequence does not make sense. Why are they going off the road? Right? Like, if you're sitting there on the side, oh, it's Adam. What's up, Adam?
Adam.
Like, you're on the side of the road and you see this bus. You're like, oh, that's kind of sketchy. Wouldn't you just like see this bus going down a closed road,
Well,
flip all its signs, get some wings, then go off the cliff?
I mean, the world knows
then
that
do a
superheroes
loop-de-loop.
exist, though. That's not like.
But they
that's
try
not-
to keep it hidden.
Yeah,
and
but
safe.
like, but if you watched the movie,
I did.
If I
Fuck-
can quote Quinn,
Fuck you.
if you watch the movie, you can see the ramp goes like off a mountain.
Yeah.
So this
Been
is
driving
pre-
for like an hour and a half before they turn into a jet.
this did make my notes, and I'm so happy you guys also picked up on this. So they start driving on a closed road. It's, the bridge is out. They're constructing a bridge. We see the ground where the bridge is. We see there's grass. Here's the bridge starting to ramp up. Then in the next shot, they are flying like 1,000 meters, 1,000 yards. I don't know, very far up in the sky.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like they like started off like it seems like they're like sea level, and then out of nowhere, boom, we're like
Sky
off a
High
mountain.
City is in the Rocky Mountains.
Probably. Job, are you gonna behave? Are you gonna behave now?
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
like, I'm kind of the War and Peace of podcasts.
That's true. That's so true.
Explain that.
I'm
So
a
you
little
say
bit of a
you're-
bad boy, and
Anthony?
I have a burning sensation
There it is.
This
this
Not
go around.
Joe!
Why can't I say?
Which one can I say?
Yeah,
None.
am I just?
How
Am I
can
just
I
supposed
say
to
it?
act like? Am I supposed to act like I'm a fucking Ken doll over here with no genitalia?
Yes.
Genitalia is good. You can use
Yes,
that
you
one.
are, Joe.
This go around was the first time I noticed War and Peace has a hand tattoo of flames.
Does he? I
No,
didn't
he
know
drew
does.
that shit
It's-
on with a pen.
He might have. It's like yellow. It like nearly
That's-
matches
that's
his skin.
ass.
It's very like not noticeable.
Nah, that kicks so much ass.
All right.
So
Enough talking about superheroes.
No.
The movie
Why? The
itself,
movie is-
as I've said before, it's fun. It's a little silly at
Mm-hmm.
times, and overall, I'm gonna say it again. It's a fun time. It's adventurous. It's just the perfect amount of like
Fun.
teenage angsty coming of age movie. That's just like something endearing
Oh,
about
yeah.
it. It's not like it's trying to reinvent the wheel here. It's a teenage movie superhero, and you knock it out, and it's fun. It's a great time. I love. It's a great time. It's a great time. It's fun. I love it. It's a great time.
I'm so.
It is. Dare I say?
Next time I see you, Job, I'm fucking strangling you. I'm telling you that right now.
look at how fucking wide my neck is.
Look at that big old patch of beard under your foot. Look at that little fucking. It's like a reverse soul patch.
You guys wish you had a neck like mine.
It's because I don't have a soul.
Ben, do you think all of the like superpowered people in this are just like inherently a little bit tougher? Because like War and Peace takes that fucking landing and saves the citizen like a champ, and he's
Yeah,
being
I
thrown by a newly strong Will Stronghold
to
who has not yet
assume-
controlled his strength.
Like
Is the
enhanced
commander
durability is
slightly
just part of the superhero
reversed?
package across.
It is the case with much, like almost all superhero media has
Well-
enhanced durability baked in.
Because like a couple
And
of them get frozen to death in the beginning.
Yes, and to be fair, they
Well,
sexually
they deserve
harassed
it.
the girl
Yes,
that
yes.
did it.
No, they deserve it. I agree.
They deserved it. The fact that they didn't thaw them out because they're still there during one of the montage scenes later, and the fact that the girl that froze them dances with War and Peace at the end of the movie.
And the professor also just freezes a student to
Yes.
depict it.
But
You're actually pretty
he
bad.
tells someone to like
That's
get him
true.
out of there. But
Well, because he has liability.
Now, Trace, you were texting me earlier today, and you said you
I
do a
was?
pretty killer impression of the mad science professor.
No, he
I
does a
heard
really
that.
good impression of Chris Griffin.
I'm
too.
never gonna talk to you again, Marshall. I'd have to listen to him talk again. I don't really
Mr.
listen. To
Manson.
him.
okay,
Chris
just
Griffin,
say
you do it all the
Little Miss
time.
Fire in the Mad Science Lab. Carry on.
There's a little fire in the science lab. Please move on.
Hey, Mr.
Marshall,
Mandola, what
can you-
if I
My
was the
name's
twins
Mr.
were
Medulla.
evil?
Can you hit us
What
with
are you
that
men doing
Daddy's
to
little
me?
girl?
No, I cannot.
Uncle?
I think you could if you tried.
Joe, go for it.
Gollum!
All
Gollum's
right.
here.
More important
Andy
question.
Serkis.
You're going to the Chinese restaurant.
Yep.
The paper lantern.
dragon?
Paper lantern.
Fucking
What are you
idiot.
getting?
Do they have General Tso's chicken?
They have pretty much everything you think of. I'm getting beef fried rice.
I'll do a General Tso's chicken and crab rangoon.
I think I would probably do sesame chicken and shrimp fried rice.
I would maybe do an orange or like a sweet and sour. I think.
You guys are
I did have orange chicken the other day. I went to Hy-Vee Chinese and I walked in and they had orange chicken and they had spicy chicken. So I went, I'll do this with orange chicken, and she goes, do you want spicy or regular? And I went, Jobe would hate spicy because he sucks at it. I'll do the spicy. And it was not that
Jobe
spicy.
sucks at spicy.
My
You're
life
right,
is terrible.
My life is a nightmare.
Job and I had hot chicken once, and he says,
boy.
"This is super spicy. This one is usually too spicy for me," and I didn't break a sweat eating it.
I'm leaving.
Quinn, did we ever
It
tell
wasn't-
did we
No,
tell-
that one. I think that one.
wait,
They
did we-
probably saw us, and they were like, "We'll give them."
Did Jobe leave? Did we ever tell you the tap house story?
I don't think so.
So we go to the tap house in Ames, and they're having like this special. It was like a spicy burger of some sort, and Jobe's like, you know what? I'll try that. That looks really
Maybe
good. I'm gonna get that. He takes one bite out of it. And
I think
was like,
One's
too spicy.
you fucking lie.
And then I take a bite out of it. I'm like, it's fine. And he's like, yeah, I'll need a box. So he gets a box for
Hey,
it. And then we
Siri?
leave. We're halfway home, and he goes,
Call
I'm
an
like, wait.
airstrike on Trace's house.
Where's your box at? And he's like, oh no, I must have forgot it there.
I do remember this story. I
It's so
do.
good.
it's so funny. It's just like in Sky High when they did something silly.
What?
Also,
It's
did
just
Gwen's entire plan revolve around her
yeah.
and Will staying together and
100%.
not like breaking up?
They would-
It really did.
But then she
Super
acted like a dick to
duo.
every single one of his friends. Like she couldn't keep up appearances for like
She should have too.
Almost
this
like
was
she was a villain all along.
no, like
I
but she
think
couldn't keep up appearances for 2
No,
months.
I know. It's
Here's
like the
my
mask
thing.
drops pretty quickly because they were only dating for like a
Actually,
week.
she wears a helmet.
Shut the you are a royal pain.
Oh, that's a banger!
A real
That
royal
one.
pain.
Call me
I
Rob
think-
Riggle
here's
the
the
way
thing.
I be
Here's-
spilling coffee on my neck.
That's okay.
Here's hot coffee all over.
It's not Rob Riggle. It's the wrong person.
And Patrick Warburton, yeah, he's
Yeah.
the voice of Royal
Gwen.
Pain.
Not Rob
I think so,
Riggle.
yeah.
Rob Riggle's a different person.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, Rob Riggle's a completely different man.
He's Rob Riggle.
Anyway,
I knew I was going for it.
That's okay.
so I think speaking of going for, I could go for a generic juice pouch break.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
fellas.
Gotcha.
At Capri Sun break, we
And
are.
we're back. And
just
Trace was just
hoping-
telling us what his superpower is he can speak fluent Japanese. Take it away, Trace.
No,
Nope.
no. Anyways, we talked a lot about what this movie does good,
Dude.
what we like about it, what's fun, superhero-based drama. Quinn, resident expert, is there anything you don't like about this movie?
Question. Finally.
I don't like the passage of time.
It's too.
I don't like that I watched the movie and it's the same movie I watched 20 years ago, but I am now a man. I am no longer that
Oh.
child with that
So-
innocence.
Your biggest gripe about the movie is that it reminds you constantly of how much older you're getting year after year.
Yeah.
And how
I mean,
Um,
the first time we watched this, we weren't in high school. I'm assuming, and maybe Trace because he's older. But
I was a senior.
like,
I was in-
does it hit different watching this like after you've gone through high school and looking back? You're like, hey, my high school did not have superpowers.
My super,
Except
my high
threats
school
and
was just
knives
such a
and shit.
different experience.
Yeah, I think
I
so
had
for
a
me
rough childhood.
I've watched this movie since it came out originally.
Yeah, good for
And
you.
then I would always joke about it in high school because in the minivan I was driving, I had the Sky High soundtrack CD, and
It's such a good soundtrack.
It's a soundtrack.
It's an incredible
because it's all
soundtrack.
Music
it's
is
all
one of
covers
the
of
highlights.
80s songs, and so I
Which
would
is
listen to
really
that
cool.
all the time. So I was always
Old
thinking about
generation
Sky High.
matching
I'm
with
so
the
glad you
new.
brought that up because I completely forgot how much I love the soundtrack.
So I actually have I have two Spotify playlists. One is, or I guess technically one, because they have the actual like Sky High soundtrack on Spotify.
Mhm.
So I have that one saved, and then I made one that's the original version, not the covers,
Ooh.
and it's called "We Have Sky High at Home." And I did that. I felt like I peaked, and I just kind of quit doing anything funny ever again.
Oh, that's rough because everything you do is funny, Quinn.
Thank you. It's tough. It's tough to say because it genuinely is my favorite movie, and I started saying that a little bit as a joke back in high school because I was always thinking about it. But I watched that movie almost every other week as a kid. Watched it so much growing up. Genuinely, I am not kidding you. I've watched that movie so much where the quotes always like I know almost everything that goes on in that movie, and so there might be things that maybe I didn't like at one point in time, but at this point, it makes up the entirety of the movie. It drags a bit. That's probably my main gripe is that it can get a little boring towards the middle of the movie because it's a regular movie. But I think the last time I watched it now was like 3-4 years ago, I want to say, where for a while I was watching it like twice a year in my adult life just because it was funny. I went to this like job career fair thing and I was just joking about it on the bus ride up. It was from Ames to Owatonna, so like a 2-hour drive. I was joking about it. The people I was there with, when we all got to the hotel, we ended up pirating and watching Sky High together because I just kept like hyper fixating and just only talking about Sky High.
Guys, it's so good. It's so good. We have to watch it.
It's so good, guys. It's so good.
All right, fine. We'll put it on.
Copy is Sky High, just ready to go at all times.
I pretty much do. So I watched it on Disney Plus. I also have the DVD on my shelf. And then, fun fact: so Sky High, Disney Plus was like when it first launched, didn't have Sky High. They ended up releasing Sky High on Disney Plus December 4th, which very coincidentally is my birthday. And that just seems like somebody at Disney noticed me and noticed all of the letters and emails I had been sending them to get Sky High on Disney Plus.
We've
Steve,
noticed a high influx of streaming.
If it was anybody else, it would be like as a joke, haha. But with Quinn, you're like, did he actually send those letters?
I did not. I lack initiative. I'm too lazy.
No, I didn't. I'm a coward. Anyways, no, yeah, that's my main gripe is that the middle is just like he has a montage, but it's like it's not like a fun montage.
And he barely
There's two montages I noticed, kind of like two montages. It's like the original one with him, the like sidekicks, they're having fun. And then there's like another one later where it's like after Homecoming and it's Layla and Warren kind of like the sidekicks hanging out with Warren and that rift kind of growing. And
it's a very brief one.
It is very brief. But like that kind of part of I don't know. But I think the content is good, but yeah, it really is just like it can drag a bit. But
the other thing I wanted to ask you, Quinn, is a lot of times when they put movies on Disney Plus, they like change scenes about them. It happens a lot with like the older animated stuff.
Stitch.
Right.
Is there anything that they did with this one that's different from like the DVD that you can remember?
I don't believe so.
I don't think they changed anything. It's been a while. I think it's
pretty much the same.
I think
Magenta called somebody a bitch in the initial release.
I don't think so.
It's true.
I think Ethan maybe stabbed someone, but that didn't make the
where the commander talked about the birds and the bees with Will.
Well, when they first get on the bus and they're driving away, you can kind of see War and Peace just like shaking somebody in a backyard.
Shaking a baby for no reason.
War and Peace's like whole deal is that he's just like a chill dude, He's him.
See,
I'm just a chill guy like that.
Now he would get profiled if he decided that he's gonna be a hero. He would go, you know what? I want my sanctum to be in a volcano because I can take the heat.
Yeah.
Everybody else is gonna be like, that's a layer. That's a fucking layer, and I knew it. I knew.
No, it's a sanctum. I swear.
Dude, it's just a sanctum. You're a fucking villain, and I know it.
Name War and Peace a superhero name? Be War and Peace.
Well,
no, that sucks.
Presumably, Peace is his mother's name because we know his dad's name is Baron Battle.
Right. He probably took his mom's name because his dad's bad guy.
And so I want to see a prequel about Warren, kind of with that conflicting upbringing, having a mother that's a superhero and a father that's a supervillain. How does that work? Did they not know each other's secret identities?
I think that's how
just like me.
They do that in Boku no
exactly like you, Marshall.
Academia.
Trace, Jobe, anything you didn't like about the movie, liked about the movie that really stood out we haven't talked about yet? Mainly Trace and Jobe.
Exactly, because it's a perfect movie and there really is nothing to criticize about.
It makes my lips smack together like this.
Okay. I really like, we don't see a lot of principal powers. I don't know what her actual powers are, but I do like
he turns into like a wisp.
That's really cool.
Comet.
But I like her line where she's like, I don't know what you expect me to do. I'm not Wonder Woman, but she is in fact Wonder Woman, and I think that's very funny.
And that's the line I think that was dubbed in after, like.
no, that's
Oh,
she's,
you're
like,
saying they
walking out
did the,
as she's saying it.
no. Linda Carter did that herself. She doesn't.
No,
get,
it's
she
just
doesn't
like
get,
it's just
no,
like a
she
hard
doesn't-
cut. It's just
she
like a
doesn't
hard
get
cut.
Stunt. She
Here,
doesn't
here,
get
here.
stunt work.
Let me try to display
Yeah,
to you
for
what
sure.
happened.
I'll be
She's
I'll
like,
be Gwen.
"And
This is
you-
fucking bullshit.
And you naughty boys were paying attention for a long time.
not Wonder Woman.
And by the way, I'm not Wonder Woman.
What's it called? The like audio
It's so shitty.
over
ADR.
the ADR.
Audio dub.
Maybe one of my issues is that a lot of the
Ringer.
actors in the movie didn't go on to have A-list careers that they
Because
deserve.
they're perfect.
went on to.
So this is I did write down because I love this. The Where Are They Now?
I love
They're
it.
all
We're talking about the kids though, right? Because like a lot of the adults already had careers.
Or dead.
A lot of the adults had careers. So Ron Wilson, bus driver, Kevin Heffernan. In 2001, he was in Super Troopers, which is a cult classic.
Yeah.
Now he's in Tacoma FD, which I recently watched, and is really good.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
The
So,
firefighter one.
yeah, the firefighter one. So,
FD Fire Department.
And
exactly. But as far as the kids go, so many of them kind of, I don't know if they still act, kind of just fell out of it. Layla, Danielle Panabaker, went on to be in The Flash for however long that show ran. Zach went on to play cousin Greg in Succession, and that was kind of a breakout role for him. Everybody really loved him there, and I was like, oh, cousin Greg. I'm like, you mean Zach. Let's see. Then Will Stronghold, he did a couple indie stuff. He was recently in this Western, but his most notable thing after Sky High was he actually dated Kristen Stewart for about 4 years until Robert Pattinson broke him up.
Bastard.
So from like 2005 to 2009, up until Twilight came out, he dated Kristen Stewart, which is my favorite piece of trivia. This one you'll have to maybe cut out as well. I told my dad that, and he goes, so.
Wow.
And I'm throwing that on him because I want to be able to get a job in the future.
It's okay. No
Yeah,
worries.
right.
But my favorite
Podcast business now.
character, Ethan, went on 6 years later to be involved in a stabbing, arrested for around a year. He ended up being acquitted, but he was with two other people, and one of them, I think, ultimately got like attempted, like aggravated manslaughter or something. I think it was like an 11-year sentence or something
Dude,
like
I
that.
feel so bad for like child actors because sometimes they'll just be like,
He wasn't
just
a
have
child.
some of the worst fucking lives. Like, was it Jake Lloyd from Star Wars? Like, got bullied and like wasn't like doing drugs or some shit like that too.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
It's pretty
little
cool.
Annie,
Little Anakin
little
guy.
Annie.
Little Annie.
So
It is you.
Jobe, you look like the long lost Beatle. Hit me with a Ringo.
I don't like.
You don't even talk. You just
Ringo, peace and love, peace and love.
Kind of like an Edna Mode.
was doing the LSD, and then we saw lights and colors all
All right, let's give some scores out.
Wait, I never get to say anything about the movie. So,
Do you think Penny's duplication has like a cap?
it's because she only has the one twin sister.
I think it's 8, and that's off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
That's
it's 8.
Remember when they were doing the big action fight
Could be
in
10.
the school, and we kept cutting back to Penny and
And she's
Layla
go,
fighting,
Layla,
and
go.
she's just flipping. She's just flipping all the time.
It's so,
She's just
but it's so menacing.
what the fuck is
Honestly,
happening?
that was more menacing than the triple axle flip she does, and then just kind of a really weak slap across
I don't
Layla's
know.
face.
I just thought
Which
it
is
was
like,
that
Big
well.
mistake.
Like,
While
I thought you were a sidekick.
while Ethan
you
takes
did.
that two pretty
Yeah.
decent villains by himself.
He does Lash and Speed. Warren doesn't even take down Speed.
well, that's because
Yeah.
he probably killed him.
Warren was about to do himself.
Will was the
in that
only
night.
reason Warren didn't fucking die.
Quite honestly, Warren did not hold his own in that final
No, and
fight.
he's probably the most one of the most powerful students there.
He
Yeah.
went at a Chinese restaurant.
Did you see him light the
definitely
candle?
ill.
He had a cool little red streak in his hair. If you
That
can
was
see.
pretty
It looked
cool.
really bad.
He looks like the older version of that one kid from Hook. You know, the
What's his name?
Jim.
Sokka actor,
Yeah.
Dante Blasco.
Screw
All right,
Jim.
Quinn, I'm gonna guess you're gonna give this movie a 10 out of 10. You can say it though. You have to say it, so it's on record.
Say it
If
for
you
Chaz.
insist.
If I must.
I
Dot.
It's his choice. It's his choice.
give Sky High a 10 out of 10. And I want that on my tombstone.
Now, where should we mail the confirmation of your score to?
Yeah. Okay, so you can send it.
No.
You wanted my social security card earlier too, right? Okay,
Yeah,
so the
anyways.
last 4.
My name is Marshall. Sky High, good film. Is it for me the best movie of all time? Does it have its flaws? No, but it's really entertaining. I'm gonna go high with this. 8.45333.
That sounds like you did some math behind the scenes.
No.
I feel like you're a
No.
very credible
No.
reviewer now because
Thank
you
you,
went
yes.
to that decimal point.
Yes.
No.
So I am more inclined to trust your judgment.
He's an
Yeah.
idiot.
I don't think he's never
Come on.
given a round number except for tens.
Trace, your turn.
Well, with that being said, I think it's only fair that we I really like the movie, and it's fun and it's good, and I really like it because I can really relate to Will Stronghold as a character, because I also feel like I too am Sky High Boy.
Because you can shoot blood out your
That
eyes.
is-
Dad has the power of being.
I'm okay accepting that it's his canonical superhero name when he graduates.
Sky High Boy. I'm John.
Sky High Boy?
Sky High Boy.
I will start telling that to
feel
people.
I feel like we should do a segment where we just
Let's
name
spread
them, we
misinformation.
give them names. I think that would be
I
fun.
need a number,
Zack
Trace.
Attack.
Not that's a given. He does it already, and I firmly believe that he will be Will's sidekick or hero support, and Will will honor that. He'll go, "Your name shall thus be Zack Attack."
One night, Coach Boomer is going to be walking out to the car and he's going to drop his keys. Bam. Going to be there to help him.
Zack Attack, I can't believe you're here. So Marshall doesn't lose this absolute shit. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 9.7632495.
Also seems calculated.
Okay, that's
Pretty credible.
He's definitely just putting that on for appearances.
I don't know
Joe,
what you're
what's
talking
your
about.
score?
I do that every time.
So, I was never in Sky High, but I
That's the
was
fifth
in Thigh
middle.
Highs.
That's good.
We have those pictures.
More like Sky by
Got
because
pictures
it
of him in cat
fucking
outfits.
falls.
That's pretty good.
I know we're waiting for Job to give his
No, it's okay.
announcement,
Get
but
No,
Job,
go
do you
on.
remember when we were at that party and we met someone that was apparently an extra in Sky High? They claimed
Yeah.
because
They
her
were
dad like
fucking-
worked on the movie or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
No, I remember that because
Yeah, I tried doing the math though. I was like, there's literally no kids in the movie except for the babies, so I really don't
It's him.
believe her. Maybe she just visited the set or something
know,
as a
she's-
kid.
I
She was one of the
think
babies.
perhaps we were at a party and drunk college students are fucking liars.
I've never known a
They
college
do
student
that?
lie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of lying, I'd be lying if I said that I
I'm confused.
didn't like this movie.
That's really cool.
What's your score, bud?
I think while the movie does have a pretty fast
Teacher,
pace, it's a good time and it never feels too fast. Except for in some scenes where the editing, I believe, to be a little bit choppy, just a little choppy.
Car.
I don't think they dropped an actual
so-
car.
With all my reasonable estimations estimated, I did lose a point too because Marshall yelled at me earlier.
This doesn't negatively impact anybody. just Quinn's opinion of you.
I'm just dragging it out because once we wrap up the episode, who knows then the next time I'm gonna see Quinn
It's
is.
true.
Spring break, I'm gonna be driving
Spring
through Des Moines most
break.
likely.
Let's go. And,
Joe
you
does
know,
not live in Des Moines,
Yeah,
though.
yeah. Who knows?
I know he's in.
Who knows where Des Moines?
Maybe.
is.
God damn it.
We live in Kentucky.
Tennessee.
Joe, what's your
Dumbass.
score, bud?
Fucking
It's a
stupid.
7.
A 7.
Wow. You
Alright.
are a, and feel free to cut this out, Marshall. You're a
That, Sky High is still one of the top films that we've
Am I
rated.
allowed?
But let it be known that Job's average is still a 7. It's a 6.98.
Where's everybody else's at?
No. Job's for his scores that he's giving out, it's a 7. So he's consistently a 7. Sky High itself is an 8.7. And this will be the best special that we've done, I think. Yeah.
Actually,
Whatever. Catch us next week when we do Enter the Dragon. Jobe, is that still your pick?
Wait, I wanted to change my answer.
For what? Enter the Dragon or what? The 7?
I wanted to change my movie to Ocean's 11.
Oh, yeah!
wow, live change. We've never seen that before.
That's
I'm
crazy.
calling an
That's the
audible.
first.
All right, next week you're here, folks. We're watching Ocean's 11. Join us.
Where?
For some high-flying heist adventure with George Clooney. Everyone say thank you to Quinn for stopping by.
Thanks for
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Quinn. Follow us at Film Plus Pod on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.